Seth was in law enforcement at the Boston PD. I think he was there for about 14 years or so, doing CSI. And so, it was just the time for him to transition into a new career.
While I was a Boston police officer, an agent from New York Life, Gil Regev, came into our police station, introduced himself, and then I sat down with him on a one-on-one basis. He explained how things work, what this particular product was, and that's how I ended up becoming a client of his. About a year after I signed up for the policy with Gil, my brother started with New York Life down in New Orleans, but he would travel up to Massachusetts a lot, and I would bring him into the police station, and I would have the guys sit down with him, and he would end up walking out with 4, 5, 6, 7 policies at a time. Obviously, I wanted to help him out, but in reality, I started thinking, hey, he's done a great job with this, he's very accomplished, why can't I do that as well?
Seth's a great story of how we're all interconnected. He's I guess a double ARD. His brother Eli, who was I think at the time he was a senior partner in New Orleans, told Seth that he should talk to us. And of course, his agent was Gil Regev, and Gil referred him as well. And that's how we got here.
When I was talking to Matt, he made a couple of great points which really interested me. First off, is that you really are your own boss. I know I have to work hard. I know I have to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes, but in reality here, you can make a lot more money because you have no cap on how much you can actually make. To me personally, having a family, I need to make sure my compensation was going to be above and beyond what I was making as a police officer.
The lifestyle he was able to live in law enforcement allowed him and his wife to have a good lifestyle. He was doing well in law enforcement, and his big thing, and he wanted to make sure that he didn't jeopardize that lifestyle.
Early on in my career, my brother actually had already started working with a large segment of my natural market. So that was obviously a bummer because he took all my clients.
You feel a sense of responsibility anytime you're associated with bringing someone into the business. But when that's your brother, that responsibility goes up by tenfold. And so I'm just so excited to see how well he's done.
My brother's absolutely still part of my support system. I don't have quite as many questions for him anymore, but we still chat all the time. He's very much involved in my work life as well as my personal life.
I'm really proud of him. To see what he has done at the beginning of his New York Life career is awesome. EC, PC, chairman.
I knew Seth was sharp. I knew he paid attention to detail. And even from the beginning, I could tell he was a very quick self-learner. Yeah, I think with his law enforcement career, he had certain disciplines, and he was able to bring those over here, and able to be disciplined with the types of things that you need to be disciplined with to be successful here. Right? He's disciplined with activity, follow-up.
But if you throw something Seth's way, he's getting it done. There's no follow-up needed, there's nothing else needed, he's just getting it done.
So part of my business early on, Matt Brightman actually paired me up with Delia Brimmer, and we started working with the City of Boston on their EWL policies. And that was a huge part of being able to meet a lot of different people and also obviously increase case count, but also have the ancillary business that comes with it.
I knew we had the EWL for the entire City of Boston, and Dave Doyle did a good job years ago setting it up. And Dave and I had a great conversation a couple years back, and we looked at maybe finding someone that could help work with it. And so I thought of Seth right away, because he is connected to the City of Boston with the police department. And we also decided to bring in Delia Brimmer because of her experience with EWL. So it was a great marriage of those two to be able to use both their strengths with the relationship and the experience.
And Seth is really good about getting us into Boston Police and, scheduling that through his contacts that he's built over there.
We'll actually go in, we'll speak to all the new hires. So we'll go into the police academy, we'll go into the fire academy. We'll do, a 30 to 40 minute presentation.
And then Seth has this ability to talk from experience and say, this is what my pension options were too, and this is how it's going to affect you, right? So he's able to really relate to them on a personal level. Also, he helps them a lot with, how their personal planning is done from the position of, I've done this before. I know what this is like. And now that I know what I know, this is what I would have done differently. This is what I would have liked somebody to teach me. So they immediately buy into the fact that they can trust him because he's been in their shoes before. He gets it.
We really work well together because we have different strengths. I obviously can speak to things like pension maximization, and she is just great with talking to anybody. She can talk to literally anybody. She's super friendly, super bubbly. And we just get along really, really well, and we can rely on one another.
So I think a lot of it is the back and forth of the support that we kind of give each other, right? So, hey, I'm not really sure about this. How do we figure this out? And just going to the right people or, figuring it out together.
Yeah. So when you look at Seth's overall business, it's not concentrated in one area. So that's the great thing about what he's building already, right? If you removed, say, the EWLs that he does, he still would have produced at a high level, right? He's worked with business owners, retirees, young families, middle market. He's put his hands in every single market so far successfully.
It's great getting to meet a lot of different people. And obviously talking to those who are just starting out a career or a young family like myself to an extent, and talking to them and sort of walking them through how to do financial planning.
Given his background in investigations, Seth is a natural fact finder. And that's, I'm sure, one reason that he develops cases so well.
I absolutely love working with retirees. Here's the reason why. A, they got more money, and let's be honest, that's who we want to work with. But B, we can create really great financial plans for them with the products that we have. Plus, they're just great clients and they're a great referral system as well.
I think Seth is able to get the analytical client on board, right? He's able to figure out the technical nuances of things.
I really love the analysis part of this. I like numbers, so I actually really enjoy sitting down with somebody, crunching numbers with them, and making sure that everything we're doing fits them properly.
So Seth is really confident in front of a client. He knows what he's talking about, right? He's done the homework to know what he's presenting to the client and why, but he's also really confident in his recommendations to the client.
What I love most about doing this is literally being able to help people feel good about it and make money doing so. That's honestly what it is. When I wake up and my ledger's green and things are coming in, but I'm also creating a positive impact on my clients, there's nothing better. I'm excited about getting my Series 7 and 65 because I want to get into the AUM business, if you will. I deal with a lot of retirees. I deal with a lot of people with a lot of money. It's going to be great to have another sort of tool in my tool belt to help them moving forward.
He's also a good resource in the office, right? He's a good team player, right? A lot of people turn to him for help. He's really good at working with, less seasoned advisors.
So I really do rely on the BGO service team. I talk to them all the time. I'm up there a lot. They certainly know my name. They know my face. Because in reality, it's not just about selling a product here. There's so much more back office work that needs to be done. And the service team is fantastic with that kind of stuff. On January 1st, Matt Brightman and I sat down, and our goal, and I say ours, it was my goal, but he's going to help me with this, is to become Rookie of the Year. And what we decided was to put a plan into action to allow that to happen. So we literally went month by month to figure out A, FYC, but B, how many people do I have to talk to? How many people do I have to see?
The plan for 22 was looking at larger cases, right? He did some great A cases in a consistent flow of everyday business, which is what he's really good at.
He always wanted to win Rookie of the Year, right? Last year was a really close race, and this year obviously blew it out of the water, which was incredible, but that was a goal that he had for himself, and he got it done.
His mindset was there's no way he's missing it, and so he did everything in his power to make sure that, he landed at the top spot.
Truth is, I've always known Seth was going to be successful in his career. He loves talking to people. He loves building relationships. He's kind of this big, goofy guy, but I think that's a part of what makes him so successful.
And you look at that likability factor, right? He's just himself. He's not trying to be someone that he's not. And I think people, are professionally attracted to that. I think he's really good at, connecting with people and making them feel comfortable.
He's willing to ask anybody for an appointment, from the janitor to the neighbor worth $50 million. He just goes for it. And that lack of fear is what's made him so successful and what will continue to make him successful in the future.
He's just an all-around good person to work with and be friends with.